The Red River War was the last major conflict between the U.S. Army and the Southern Plain Indians. Many Indian tribes were forced to reservations because of the Medicine Lodge Treaty of 1867. President Ulysses S. Grant's peace policy stated that American Indians that moved onto the reservations were given rations and were offered the opportunity for education and training as farmers. Many Indians weren't very accepting of their assigned reservations. Pushing the Indians onto reservations only increased their ratings, and when they were pursued by the Army, they fled back to the reservations, which was a safe haven from retaliation. Many factors led to the outbreak of full-scale war in 1874. Indians wanted revenge for losses that were sustained in earlier raids. There were continued delays and shortages of rations, fears of white encroachment on Indian land, and most importantly, the movement of white buffalo hunters onto the plains of the Texas Panhandle, lands that the Indians believed were reserved for them. All angered the Indians. Due to the capture of many Indian tribe leaders in earlier raidings, the tribes lacked an inspiring leader to lead a charge against the Army and white settlers and regain their land. That soon changed when a young medicine man from the Comanche tribe named Issa Tai, who gained credibility by several magic feats, called a meeting that joined the Comanche, Kiowa, and Cheyenne tribes. During this meeting, they planned to target a camp of white buffalo hunters near an old trading post known as the Adobe Walls. This is to be considered the official beginning of the Red River War. It was quickly followed by a raid by the Kiowa into Texas and a Comanche attack on an Army detachment in Onondaga in Indian Territory. As many as 5,000 Indians, all from different tribes, left their reservations and moved onto their familiar hunting grounds in western Indian Territory and the Texas Panhandle. Shortly after, the Army and the Indian Bureau declared war on all Indians who were off their assigned reservations. They designated these Indians as hostiles. The Army planned a five-pronged campaign to put a constant pressure on the Indians considered to be hostile. This allowed the Army to follow Indians onto the reservations if they chose to flee there. The man in charge of this campaign was Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, known as Bad Hand to the Indians. On September 28, 1874, Mackenzie surrounded a large force of Kiowas, Comanches, and Cheyennes in Upper Palo Duro Canyon. They attacked at dawn by the steep cliff walls, leaving no room for the Indians to escape. Mackenzie and his men focused on not killing Indians, but rather destroying their possessions and capturing and killing their horses. More than 1,100 horses were slaughtered, and it destroyed the Indians' ability to continue on fighting the war. After being defeated, the Indians surrendered and returned to their designated reservations in the Indian Territory. This marked the end of the Long War. The Red River War is less well known, but holds great importance. It forced many captured Indian leaders to fully surrender and face imprisonment. It also brought light to many people about how mistreated the Indians were by the U.S. government. The war also taught that the Army, if allowed free rein, would successfully bring down any Indian force, a lesson that was soon demonstrated on the northern plains. Finally, the Red River War opened the way for the final extermination of the white buffalo herds and allowed settlement of the Texas Panhandle by whites.